Okay, it is time for the Jason Katz PodKatz with your host, Jason Katz. Probably going to be more of a short one. I don't really have much to talk about. You know, still single, which is fine. I'm fine being single. Let's just get it out of the way. I sent my ex a voice note telling her that I love her and, you know, that I always will, and how she kind of fucked me up, which, you know, I don't give a fuck anymore. I think she deserves to hear it. Maybe I'm just crazy, but I mean, at the very least, it will give me closure, and I feel kind of closed, you know? I mean, I don't feel closed, but like, she hasn't responded yet, so she'll probably respond tomorrow or something, or tonight, or she'll block me. I kind of told her not to respond. She doesn't want to, which is totally fine. It was more of like a exercise. It's kind of fucked up on my part to include her, but I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm crazy. I am crazy. Anyways, my therapist is gonna love this one. I was watching the PodKatz on my TV last night, and I don't know how you guys put up with me, because it's bumpy, and a few times like my camera like auto focuses or some shit, which I don't know why it does, but I would like to turn that off for some reason. If you know how to turn that off, let me know. Yeah, I'm headed to Marysville. Today is April 9th, 2026. I realized I wasn't dating these, and I think that's important, because this is sort of like a journal entry, right? Or at least that's the vibe I'm going for. Things have been happening. Yeah, since I filmed this, there's been 2 more instances with my stalker signing up, not showing up. It happened on Friday at a mic, and then I was not at this mic on Monday, but this guy went to a Monday mic, and when he was told that I'm a regular in the room, he left, according to what I was told. So if you are watching, once again, please stop it, okay? I don't want to involve my lawyer again, but I will if you continue to do this. And maybe I'm misreading things. Maybe you're going to sign up for comedy, you see that I go there or something, and you don't, you know what I mean? Like you want to avoid me. That would be great, except for the fact that I would be fine with you doing comedy. I do not care. The problem is that you're going to these places and you're not signing up. So if you're avoiding me, that's okay. I appreciate that. But you can also do comedy. I'm not trying to stop you from doing any kind of comedy. I'm trying to not be involved in your weird behavior. Okay? So, if it happens again, I probably am going to let my lawyer know, who has your dad's email, or stepdad, I don't know. But yeah, don't want this to escalate. Not trying to escalate anything. I'm choosing peace. I hope you do too. But please stop doing it. It does bother me a little bit, not like it used to, but yeah. Besides that, life is great. Life is like, look how beautiful it is. What else is happening? I'm writing more. I'm rediscovering my voice, I feel like. A comedian, very established, who's been doing it for almost 20 years, said one time, and it was like a brunch with, it was like a potluck at a comedy club. And this somebody asked, like, oh, how long did it take you to like find your voice? And this very established comedian said like 15, 16 years. And I was like, Jesus Christ, I need to take that long. Maybe it does take that long. I don't know. I've never claimed to be a guru of comedy. I mean, honestly, I've been bombing a lot, and it's pissing me off. I get very angry at the audience when they don't laugh, and the laughs I'm getting are from me reacting to not laughter, and that's not comedy. That's saving yourself. And although that muscle is very trained, and I'm very good at saving myself when it comes to failure, I would like people to laugh at my jokes. Yeah, dead air. Just kidding. I don't know. Maybe they just don't get it yet, right? Maybe that was too much for you, but your kids are gonna love it. Back to the Future, right? Honestly, I like to think about that because, like, a lot of my fans, like when I'm more professional, probably haven't been born yet. And I talked about this before. It really is kind of about capturing generations, and I want a few examples. Taylor Swift obviously is a great example of this. Like I said on another episode, if you go to a preschool, every playlist that they play music-wise always has Taylor Swift. And I think Jack Black is another great example. He keeps starring in kids' movies, or like, you know, like PG-13, like movies like, you know, what was the one he did with The Rock and Kevin Hart? Jumanji, those were big. And Mario, right? What else? Twatties. I am officially a producer of Twatties. I can talk about it now that it exists. Now that we have a home. It's not my baby, it's Andrew's, but you know, it feels good to be a part of something, and the first one was a success. There was like 50 people. There was enough people for the bar to be like, let's do this, which is great because the bar, again, we're a Monday show, so Mondays, as long as you're beating what their normal Monday sales are, which is usually the lowest day in restaurant sales. In fact, one could argue that most people that go to restaurants on Mondays are people that work at restaurants, which is why there's so many industry discount nights on Mondays and Tuesdays, because that's their days off. This is very important for comedy as well, because comedy schedule is kind of revolved around the restaurant industry. I mean, it 100% is, because like, where do you do comedy? Bars, comedy clubs. I mean, you can do it in weird places too, but like I've done comedy at an AA meeting birthday party. That was so awkward. Holy crap. It was awkward because the first thing they said at the beginning was like, all right, everybody, we can eat after the comedians, which is a terrible thing to say because everyone's going to be thinking about food. But yeah, like most shows and mics happen on off days because restaurants want more business on off days, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, Sundays, sorta, kind of the days. Which is why if you book a show during one of those days and you can be like, oh, I can get a national touring headliner, you might, because like they don't have shit to do until the weekend usually. They want to practice, and like if you give them a headlining set like 20, 45 minutes, right? Like that helps them practice for their probably weekend, which is booked. So if you're listening to this and you want to do something in comedy and you want to like have some clout in comedy, book off-day mics and shows. It is not hard to fill a restaurant or a bar on a Monday night, you know? And what I'm trying to say is like the bar is lower. Like if you want a Thursday or Friday show, you have to make it worth it for the restaurant to be like, okay, we can actually do this and not lose money on like what we would on an average Friday or Thursday. Monday, I would imagine most bar sales is under $1,000 per bartender, which is crap. Because if people are tipping 20%, that's like almost $200 in tips. But if it's like $1,500, that's like $300 in tips, maybe $400. And it's probably the day before their off day, right? If you're working Monday, you probably have Tuesday, Wednesday off. So it'd be like a nice little cushion. This has nothing to do with my life. It's just some sort of observation. A lot of people don't realize that. And I used to work in the restaurant industry, and I realize how similar it is. And, industries are in trouble right now across the board. Everything is dying. The planet is dying. But hey, we got 30-minute delivery on some products. Whee! Right? Isn't that what we want? You don't want 30-minute delivery? You can't wait for your stuff? No, but you know what I mean. Oh, you're about to get a gorgeous view. Look at the mountain peaks. I think that's the Olympics. No, it's the Cascades. We're heading north. Yeah, I'm working out, doing chiropractic exercises, trying to work on my posture. I'm in a sketch class with a lot of friends, and I think that's great. I think sketch comedy is a great method, and it really taught me some things about my jokes. There's this thing called the button, which is the hardest laugh. I need to put a button in my jokes. The only thing I'm a little on the fence about is that the teachers, I asked them what's your opinion on TikTok and the internet, and they're like, oh, we don't really use TikTok. And it's candle maker doesn't like light bulb store type vibes. But they seem pretty knowledgeable, and I'm gonna do the homework tonight. And I feel pretty confident. I'm feeling like I love myself. I feel like I have a lot of love to give to my friends, which is great, because love has been very absent from my life up until this last few months, or at least self-love. And work's going well. Once again, it's just very nice to have a job. It's very blessed. I'm very blessed. No shitty drivers today, knock on wood. What else? What should this episode be about? Oh, here's one. Tuesday, for the first time ever, I was bombing so hard because the audience just wasn't laughing at anybody for the most part. And I was just like, what do you guys want? What do you want me to say? Didn't work. I've never been that frustrated at a mic. I think that's one of the golden rules, is to never say that phrase. What do you want to laugh about? Which kind of detracts from the magic trick of it all, which is important. Comedy is kind of like a magic trick. It's not like sleight of hand, but when you explain the process, people get detracted from it. They're because there's a lot of surprise and what's the word? Misdirection. That's important. Misdirection is very important in comedy and in magic. Yeah, okay. I'm running out of shit to talk about, which does not make for a good podcast. PodKatz. Never call it a cast. I was on, last Thursday, I was on Bremerton, and I needed to get my eyebrows shaved because my eyebrows are they get bushy. Full bush. And I went into this barber shop, and I was like, hey, can you just trim my eyebrows with a razor? And they're like, sure. And they did it. And I was like, oh, let me pay you. And they were like, oh, just come back. And I was like, yeah, I'll totally come back, but I don't live there. And I felt bad. And it's like, I will get a haircut from them next time I'm there, but like, that probably won't be for months. Holy shit. I have so much. I have Adderall dry mouth. I need a new pill doctor. I need to get an x-ray on my back. Yeah, that sucks. My back. Oh, there's this really funny Billy and Mandy thing I've been watching. It's like 30 seconds. It's like some dude's talking to Billy. It's like when people are different from you, like, you shouldn't be scared. You know? Like, you should be angry. How dare they live life different than you? It's like, what, my way of life's not good enough? I don't know, I just thought that was funny. Billy and Mandy is such a good show. It's genuinely one of the best shows I've ever seen. Maybe I was just 7. I don't know. But there's this episode where, like, Mandy smiles for the first time, and she opens a dimension portal to, like, an alternate universe. And the episode just ends with them becoming the Powerpuff Girls, like Billy, Mandy, and Grimm. It's really funny. It's just like, shit like that is what built this culture's sense of humor. Like, SpongeBob, Billy and Mandy, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Rip-Off Artist. I don't know if you guys will get that, but in like one of the first episodes, Blue's like at a mall, and he's like, they're there to get a gift or something, and like he just looks at all the prices, and he's just like, holy crap, what the hell, you rip-off artist, and he like kicks the employees in the shins, and by the end of the episode, the mall security's looking for this little blue guy that's been kicking everyone in the shins. Maybe I'm stunted developmentally, but that was good TV, in my opinion. What else? What else is happening? Layoffs? More layoffs? Something's got to give, right? Like, if the middle class is unemployed, something's going to happen. I think. I don't know. We could all just die. We could all literally watch the planet blow up unemployed. Oh, I saw Project Hail Mary, and it was really good. Like, the middle through the end was really good. Once again, it broke that rule that, like, it was 2 hours and, like, 40 minutes, okay? Probably with 2 hours and 30 with credits. Who is like, I found the cuts, just so everyone's clear. I know where they could have cut, and they didn't. And then my friend was like, oh, they make it longer because, like, the cost of the ticket has gone up and they want to make it worth the money. And it's like, that's not what the fuck a movie is. If you make it longer, you're making it worse. For the most part. Like, unless you're like Lord of the Rings, Christopher Nolan gets a pass. I don't know. I'll give you 15 minutes. I'll give you 20 minutes over 90 minutes. Like, a movie that's almost 2 hours is great. A movie that is 2 hours, sure, if you can prove it. But a movie that's 2 hours and 30 minutes where an amateur filmmaker that's never made a short film as a director and just been on film sets in college, can find the editorial cuts that you should have cut on the editing floor, then maybe Hollywood has a problem, besides the fact that everybody pirates shit. Look at that mountain. I know it's not zoomed in, but like, holy crap. I appreciate the beauty of Washington. Oh, dude. I just passed the person and they're like picking their teeth, and it's like, this is why I passed you. I drink your milkshake. That's a reference from There Will Be Blood, Daniel Day-Lewis, 2007, really good movie. If you had a milkshake, and if I had a milkshake, I would drink your milkshake. A lot of references, keep up. What else? What else? Come on, dead air, dead air, dead air. Dead Malcolm in the Middle, I think, just came back. And The Boys comes back. And what else? What was I excited for? Oh, Euphoria. Bro, Euphoria is gonna be like, they're gonna be like, hey Rue, I have a prostate exam because I'm 35 and I'm playing a high schooler. You know? And like the budget for the cast was like $7 billion because Jacob Elordi, Sydney Sweeney, Zendaya, and the chick that plays Maddie, and for the most part, what's her face? Judd Apatow's daughter, are all expensive. Like their salaries definitely went up because the first season, I'm pretty sure, is 2019. Holy shit. Yes. Because I think I was in college. Yeah. It's been like 7 years. And they're only on season 3. Okay, Sherlock from BBC. I knew we were gonna get like not Sherlock, like the British people, they do like 2 seasons over like 5 years. Right? Unless you're Downton Abbey. Although I don't actually know. Maybe it's the American version that's been stretching it, but I'm pretty sure it's the British version. Either way, we are kind of adapting that like British concept of like less is more, which is great, but unless you're a writer that's used to like 24 episode seasons. Okay, this is over 20 minutes. That's my minimum. I think it's going to be a short one today. Comment question of the day. Do you think this chick's going to come back? Jesus Christ. That's been like the comment question of the day for like every episode. Either way, leave your comments down below. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, share. This has been the Jason Katz PodKatz with your host, Jason Katz. I hope you have a good week, everybody. Goodbye. Look at the mountains.